NJC participating, without the NJC looking at the petition against him, and also appointing an acting chief judge without the NJC making a nomination to the president of our constitution, of our process, and again another annulment of the June 12 election. I also think that on a day like this, we need to understand how it has happened that the Nigerian electoral judicial process now has 90 days for us to get judgments and 180 days to conclude electoral processes without the judicial process being automated to allow us to tender the large volume of documents that will come up from elections across Nigeria. We need to reform our electoral bill now. We need to talk about our election process because, like I said, the IRI and the NDI of the 2019 election fell short. A man of the standards expected of an election in Nigeria, considering 2015, a man cannot, after destroying the electoral gains of 2015, talk about a democracy day. So what is significant, and for him to redeem himself, is that the government of today should be talking about where we go from here. How do we reform our electoral process? How do we deepen our democratic experience for us to be able to say that democracy is alive and well in Nigeria? The third issue that needs to be discussed after discussing the electoral process is that we need to talk about the institutions of the state that participate in an electoral process. The Nigerian police, in the face of the global agitation to reform policing, to ensure that policing works for the citizens and not the other way around, we didn't hear any statement about how we can reform our police, even in the electoral process, even in the rigging that the police participate in, even to harass and intimidate electoral officers. I think that it was necessary for us to have a conversation about the Democracy Day, about how to deepen democracy in Nigeria. It is important that we also have a conversation about the media. How is it that our president, in his 5 years in office, have not found it worthy to discuss with Nigerian media? He has not had media chats. He grants interviews to foreign media. He uses occasions like this to read about what he has done, but hasn't found it worthy to have a media chat with the Nigerian media. Even a one-on-one interview with the newspapers. I think that the media, which is the bastion of democracy, which is one of the pillars that sustain free speech, which is the pillars that sustain the conversations that deepen democracy, must receive about how we're going to make the media rise to the occasion, enhance the freedom of the media, and ensure accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So today, I think that June 12 represents an epoch. It formed my years of activism. It allowed me to understand the need for coalition, how a very simple issue can become very divisive under the hands of those who want to continue to gain from Nigeria as is. So I think that the May of June 12, for me as a person, part of my contribution using my experience on June 12 was that when I became a part of government to build an ethnic neutral organization in FRSC and in aviation. I also made an effort to give a sense of belonging to every group that was in the FRSC. I also wanted to promote merit, because it is upon the virtues of merit that we can promote a new Nigeria and a new beginning. So I want to this conversation to conclusions by saying it is important for all of us to understand that June 12 was a watershed event. Understand the dynamics of Nigeria. It gave me the opportunity to see that the democracy that we enjoy today was a product of struggle. So for the young people of Nigeria, my advice is that as some American writers, as Moglu and Co has put in, that there is the narrow corridor between the Levitian, the state, and the people, which is made about by struggle. I think we need to struggle for the democracy we have. I think we need to continue to deepen the struggle for the fierceness of the urgency of the now. I support those who have different opinion about how to resolve Nigeria. I support those who have different opinion about how to restructure Nigeria. But my very question is now. What are we going to do with the $6 trillion that is budgeted by the government? What are we going to do with the $22 billion that the government is going to now borrow, which me and you are going to pay back in years to come? What are we going to do with the 48% of annual revenue that goes to states and local governments? How do we ensure that the children in secondary school today, the children in primary school today have quality education that will skill them for the future? The education of today, there is no more jobs waiting for people by being a graduate. By going to university and graduating, there is no job waiting for you. There is no job at the government. There is no white-collar job waiting for you. Today's world is a world of skills, a world of people who are capable of doing things, a world of ICT, a world of entrepreneurship. So are we training our children for that future? The children that were born on October 1, on May 29th, 1999, today are 21 years old in Nigeria. And if you look at the 21-year-old, it means they have gone through primary, secondary, and university for many of them. So my question is, we need to focus on the fierce urgency of now. Nobody should distract our attention from the realities that Nigeria have today, from the good governance that we need. I will raise 3 substantive issues. The government started a product of Servicom to begin to do service delivery for government agencies. Where is the status of Servicom today? Are government agencies delivering on their mandate? Do they respect the rules of the Freedom of Information Act? Are they publishing the free information that is required by the FOI? Our public institutions, do they have a matrix to ensure that they are working for Nigerians? The answer is no. This government has not paid attention to the issue of our public service reforms, to the issue of ensuring that our public service deliver equal opportunity for all Nigerians. Do we have recruitment processes that are free and fair in Nigeria today? The answer is no. The elites have hijacked the recruitment process. The children of ministers, the children of governors are all being admitted now to Central Bank, to NNPC, to the Sovereign Wealth Fund, to all the institutions, the NCC that pay big salaries. Go there and look. They are the children of people in government. They are the children of the elite. All of us are responsible for it. I'm not excluding PDP or myself from it. But the question is, the Nigerian public has to rise to force them to use JAMB, which is a body that is authorized to conduct elections, to take recruitment exams in Nigeria. That is my postulation. We need to allow a body like JAMB to conduct open and competitive recruitment examinations, so that those who pass, we will see their names published, we will maintain state quotas, and make sure that people score a minimum score to be able to enter our public institutions. Again, the opportunity is to be asked. If you go to the State Security Service, to the Nigerian Police Force, it is the children of police officers, children of former officers that are occupying the position. If you go to the military, it is the relatives of officers that are going into the military. This cannot work for Nigeria. We need a new struggle. On June 12th, we struggled for democracy. Today, we struggle for equal opportunity for Nigerians, equal access for every Nigerian. We cannot allow the elite to lock in the privileges they have gotten in Nigeria. We need to have equal access and equal opportunity. So if the president is sure about democracy, he must democratize the process of access to government jobs, of access to our security agencies, of access to our universities. We need to use neutral bodies for access, for promotion and appointment in federal government agencies. There is no reason why, if the government have said the exams will be taken, that we cannot get JAMB to conduct the exams on behalf of government agencies and publish those who qualify for winning. Democracy is not just about election. It is a culture. The democracy we want for Nigerians to control their own destiny by themselves. We want to have our destiny in our hands. And I'm saying that the opportunity for June 12th is not an opportunity to talk about roads and rail. It is an opportunity to tell us, how is the state of our union? How is this union going to allow the child from Damaturu to progress, while the child from Yenagoa will also progress, while the child from Oka will have equal opportunity to compete for the available positions in Nigeria? So I also think, in rounding up, that we will have to democratize recruitment. We have to democratize access to opportunities. There is another agency of Nigeria, Bureau for Public Procurement. Since this government came into service, we have not seen any announcements about the Public Procurement Directorate. On their website, they are no more publishing information about contracts, who was it awarded to, what was the process followed, and how much they have reduced from the private government contracts going to federal government. We need to see that. The democratization of Nigeria is in the transparency of our institutions. That is why in the US,